tell you what, they picked the right game, didn't they, to start the season on Sky Sports. What a game! It was so entertaining. I mean, it's the type of game that you pay your money for, isn't it? You know what I mean? I know we'll have issues that we want to talk about how the game unfolded and control and all that, which we'll discuss later. But just in terms of sheer entertainment value and the way, you know, we all bounced out of that ground afterwards after having the Chiesa moment and then topped off by Salah getting his customary first goal of the season on the opening day. It's everything that you want. It was the payoff we've all been waiting for with Chiesa for all of last season. It felt like that song now finally has a purpose, has a point to it, you know what I mean, apart from being incredible. I'm still shaking talking about that game.
Did you believe? Or was it the point where your belief began to ebb?
I think you've always got to believe in Liverpool at Anfield, particularly on a night like Friday, which was obviously so sort of emotionally charged, and it was a special night from beginning to end. But I did think sort of certainly the body language in that initial aftermath of that second Semenyo goal, they all looked a little bit dejected for a couple of minutes, and you did think, you know, is this going to set the tone? Obviously, it was 3 years ago now. 3 years ago when they went to Fulham on the opening day, and that obviously ended in a draw, and I guess set the tone for a really difficult campaign by Liverpool standards anyway. So there was a moment where I did start to doubt it, but you always, you know...
I thought, so when it goes in at 2-2, I completely agree with the body language, and I thought, fuck this. I heard you on the post-match audio, John, you said that you'd stopped. What changed for me was there was a couple of minutes where they went from looking like the fittest side I'd ever seen in my life to I thought Bournemouth looked like, oh my God, this is dead hard. They looked really tired, and it was just at the moment where I was on the verge of saying, I think we're going to score here, that we scored, if you know what I mean. Like at the point where my belief had bounced back 100%, I was up there at the moment when he just sort of sticks in the back of the net. I thought they looked like, that we put everything in to get back. I've seen it in the past. You put everything in to get back to 2-2, and then suddenly everyone's a bit like, oh God, what do we do now?
Yeah, and we've seen it so many times. We saw it so many times last season with Liverpool, where it felt like they'd ceded some control and they dropped off, and then they end up getting punished. But then that, you know, for the opposition who've worked so hard to get back into the game is a bit of a blow in a sense, because then all of a sudden, you know, the momentum's going to shift back to Liverpool, and that's what it did. But Arne Slot had said before the game, you know, he made a point in his press conference to say how intense Bournemouth are. I think he might have actually called them the most intense side in the league, and they were. But obviously that can take its toll, and it did.
They're a unique proposition, John, as I say, and that's, I think that one of the things that they do, because they just keep coming at you, is they do knock the belief out of you a bit in a way.
Yeah, I mean, the manager made that point before the game. We talked about playing them last season and said, we were 3-0 up at half-time. And then he said, in Holland, when you're 3-0 up at half-time, you win 5-0, because the other team just sort of pack in. And he was like, almost, it was early on in his reign, but you almost couldn't believe how much Bournemouth went at them, sort of second half, really. And, you know, that was a game last year that wasn't as comfortable. Even the first half, the 3-0 sort of makes it sound. So they're a tough team to play against. They do keep going. And for all the changes and for all the problems they've had in the summer, they've actually kept a large portion of that attacking talent, not least the guy who scores twice. And so the tricky opponents, did we make them more tricky? Or did we conspire to make them, you know, to create situations where they were more tricky? I mean, we'll come on to that, but almost certainly yes. But they are a tough opponent. And first game back for Liverpool, you know, with the changes that we made as well, it was never going to be perfect.
The Salah goal's the greatest goal in football, John. We've talked about this many times. The goal that takes you from 1-2 in injury time. The one that is just unanswerable. There's not enough time left in the match to answer it. I love that he does it. You can almost see the cogs wearing. Yeah. Firstly, he's running so hard. You know, it's the 94th minute, and he runs from right wing to left wing to pick up a bit of a, if we're honest, a bit of a punt into space. He does that, and then it's almost like he's so fit, he can switch his brain back on, and you almost get to see the moment when you watched it back where he goes from, no, I won't go the corner. I just absolutely loved it, and I love that he got his moment, and obviously we got to see everything it meant to him.
Yeah, he did, and it is a great goal, and he's a bit of a specialist in them. I mean, the best one was Man United, wasn't it? Yeah. He takes it from 1-2, and the share comes off, and Alisson's first to him, and that's the, you know, the ultimate one that sort of springs to mind. But he is sort of good at that goal that just sort of ends it. He's a mic dropping footballer, isn't he? And that's what he does. But the goal itself is great. What he's brilliant at is shooting at the perfect time, and I think that's something that I think develops as you get older. I watched quite a bit of football over the weekend, and you see in sort of other places. I thought Andy Gordon was terrific for Newcastle. But what he hasn't quite mastered yet because of his age and because I think he's been moved around is that he gets a lot of shots blocked. And I think that's something that, so he's moving well, he's always pushing like Salah does, but a lot of shots are sort of blocked, where Salah just wait to go, boom, there's the gap, and it's past it, and the keeper's not expecting it and stuff like that.
Good comparison on that. I think a really good comparison actually is when he's flying, Saka gets those shots away and they go in. When he's not flying, I thought he had a couple yesterday against United where he doesn't shoot when he could, or it's there for him and one gets blocked late on. But I think Saka's a brilliant player, but as you say, he's still a younger player, and just having that innate, and as I say, when Saka's flying, you sort of know he is because the blocks stop happening, and I think it's a really good point.
Even for Salah, when he's getting frustrated with himself and he's maybe trying to push it too much, then you see a lot of block shots and things like that. But when he's up, like he felt at that moment, you know, he's got himself into the box, and it's just when it's very natural for him. I think he can overthink it sometimes, Salah, if he's not scored in a game, but in that moment where he probably thinks, oh, it's 3-2 and I'm just going to make it 4 now, and he just sort of looked dead relaxed and he just strokes it. And, you know, it's not the most powerful hit you've seen of the weekend, but I think he's just smart in terms of when he does that, and it's a proper Salah goal, and I loved it.
I hope you're enjoying this free show at the moment. Loads of excellent, exciting stuff on the Anfield app. If you want to be part of the whole thing, you can download the Anfield app and go from there. Or you can subscribe via the YouTube membership as well for video-only content and other bits and pieces. We love doing these shows. We love that you watch them. So come, be part of the journey with us.